Welcome to another RMSO Bigfoot Roundtable Drive. We're going to see if we can get into 3 game cameras we have on top of Monte Cristo near a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. We usually can't get in this early. We usually can't get in until July because of the snow. So if we can get in, we'll go and service those cameras and show you what's on those SD cards. If not, we'll get an idea of when we can come back. So we may hit some snow today. I know it looks crazy out there, nice summer looking day, but we're going up to 9,500 feet and there may be, 4 or 5 foot embankments of snow across the road.
It was snowing down to about 7,000 feet last week.
But we like to have one of these cameras rolling when we're going into a Bigfoot sighting area. The most common Bigfoot sighting is a road crossing, so we'll keep a camera rolling. So excuse some of the silence as we enjoy the scenery, and maybe we'll get lucky and get a road crossing one day. Hopefully that day's today.
And we're in Derek's new truck. Might be lucky.
We could be.
This truck feels lucky.
That's right.
I feel lucky having it.
The northern part of Utah seems to be a lucky month for Bigfoot sightings. In the last 10 years, I know of about 5 Bigfoot sightings that have happened in June over the last 10 years. So like every other year, it seems like we get a Bigfoot sighting report. And as a matter of fact, about 4 years ago, Mike's in the back seat, Mike's nephew saw a Bigfoot not too far from here.
He swears.
About 30 miles from here, and he saw it the first day of June that year.
I wouldn't think it was 30 miles. You're probably closer to 15, maybe.
Yeah, I guess if you go directly across the mountaintop, I was thinking about the roads weaving and winding there. Yeah, if you could fly a straight shot, probably closer to 15 miles. And then the very next year, after Casey had his Bigfoot sighting, that's when Curtis had his Bigfoot sighting at Lost Creek, which is, in my opinion, the same general area.
Yep.
Crazy thing is these Bigfoot sightings are kind of down near the valleys in June. Like the Bigfoot are coming down and eating the soft willow shoots or something.
Berries are on right now.
What kind of berries?
I've been eating raspberries at mine.
Serious?
Yeah.
My currants are on. My
Depends on the kind of
on.
raspberries, but yeah.
Peas. Fresh greens are right now. Wild lettuces, stuff like that.
Wild onions.
Yep. Right now is the time.
I noticed all your onions are just thick, big and green.
Sweet too, they're really good.
They're about ready to blow. It's getting too hot. Down to the bottom.
Almost look like a porcupine.
This part of the canyon, I always see moose. Not saying we're going to see one today, but I see moose here a lot.
Yep.
They're probably bedding down this time of day.
It's still pretty dead. In fact, the last right up here saw 2 right on these guys' property. Not too long ago.
I stopped checking out a young bull moose several years ago right here, and he got really aggressive towards my car, snorting and doing the whole heckles up and everything. And I wasn't fearing for my life or injury or anything, but I thought he was going to mess up my car. I was worried he was going to start kicking the crap out of my Jeep. And after snorting at me for a while, he finally took off.
Tells you how soft. Serious old runs right there.
Yeah, that was so long ago before I had a video camera. I just had a picture camera, but I took a bunch of pictures of him with his hackles stood up. And
You guys want another piece of jerky, or are you good?
We're good.
I'm good.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, I'm fine, Mike.
Alright, got some if you want. Shit's good.
That's saving my life.
And last time I did a roundtable drive coming up to Monte Cristo, I was with Mike. You guys probably saw that video about 8 videos back. Yeah, it was last fall that we filmed it, and I spaced it off and misplaced it, and about 8 weeks ago I come across it and I'm like, I haven't posted this. So yeah, you went up there with me and we serviced cameras and looked for mushrooms, looked for Bigfoot.
I should have thought about that coming up here, man. We get out here walking around, and tis the season for them damn black caterpillars. Them things hurt. Just throwing that out there now.
Yeah, if they get between your sock and your
A
shoe.
little woolly freaking black caterpillar with little spikes on them. No bueno. They are a cool looking caterpillar though. And all over up here. Anybody know what they turn into, Mike? You know?
There's so many different fuzzy
No,
varieties.
I'm not sure. As far as their adult stage,
Yeah, I was just
I'd
wondering.
have to sit and watch.
Well, from what I generally understand, most of the fuzzy ones turn into moths. It's usually your smooth caterpillars that turn into the butterflies.
I'll tell you right now, that's going to be a big moth.
Are you talking the ones that grow in mass up on like the chokecherry trees and shit?
These are up in
Have
the.
like a big nest of all of them.
These are growing on. These were growing on large sagebrush. Then they were.
Sage,
They were.
smalls.
They were black hairy ones.
Yeah.
They weren't
Remember when we,
hidden
remember
longer.
he brought up Curtis's sighting up Lost Creek.
That's where we
They
were.
were all over that hillside.
Huh. I can't remember.
Matter of fact, I think it fell off of a large sagebrush on.
It did.
Onto Derek. Yeah.
I
Right?
have to inspect them closer.
Oh, I inspected it. My foot felt it for like a week and a half.
Should have grabbed some and put them in some dirt and brought them home.
Should have. I would have liked to have checked him out actually.
Find out what it turns into.
We were on the
Isn't
big.
there a pisser right up here?
Yeah.
Can we stop?
Yes, sir.
We were on the Bigfoot tracks that day though, so
Yeah.
our minds were preoccupied on Curtis's sighting and all the tracks we were filming and taking pictures and measuring. We even found handprints that day.
We sure did.
Yeah, you guys go watch, search for our Lost Creek Bigfoot sighting reports and investigations and expeditions. And you'll find that video somewhere where we did Curtis's investigation. I think it's actually called Curtis Sighting Investigation Lost
Yeah.
Creek. Yeah, we were filming footprints and handprints right where he said he saw the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's not too far from where we are now.
Oh, cool.
All right, we're gonna take a little break. I got next.
Mostly I've been working for Campground.
Huh? I got next Friday off and the following Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to Oregon bigfooting.
Shit. Where you headed?
We're staying at Crater Lake, and we're gonna Bigfoot anywhere between here and there, and We got a lot of Bigfoot sighting locations in that general area between Bend, Oregon and Crater Lake and stuff that we're gonna.
You guys get that much vacation?
I use almost all of it for that.
Yeah, you just got to time it right.
I get about a month of vacation every year. I actually get like, I think it's 37 paid days off every year, not including my weekends, you know.
Awesome.
I know, and 90% of it goes for Bigfoot expeditions.
Yeah, I know you guys have gone a lot. Covered a lot of miles.
I know, I put about 25,000 miles a year on my car. Well, I put 23,000 on that last year.
Need to go back down Dry Creek.
Yeah, that's where we found some of those structures with Mark Crooks.
Yeah, we took Mark Crooks down Dry Creek because we couldn't get back.
He's the one that found those structures.
But it's called dry something.
Dry bread or
Something like that.
Sourdough.
there's Sourdough and Dry Creek, I think.
Right.
Those are two different canyons that kind of come together.
I think it is Dry Bread.
Dry
I
Bread
think
Creek.
it's that one right back there that takes you over the hardware.
Yeah, Ant Flats.
Ant Flats, where we just stopped. We'll take you out to Hardware, and if you get far enough back in there, you can hang a right and take you up, and it'll drop you off down in by Bear Lake.
Oh yeah.
You know, another boat, well, up there on Curtis, will take you over to Randolph.
It all ties all together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've absolutely taken that.
I've taken the dirt road all the way to Bear Lake from here. The dirt road goes all the way.
I can't say that I've gone all the way to Bear Lake on the dirt roads.
I come out on the south side. Also takes you back where that bear, I think his name Ingram, was that what they named the bear?
Old
Is
Is that what it's called? Old Ingram?
the largest grizzly bear killed
Old
in
Ephraim. Ephraim is what it is.
Ephraim. Yeah, he's the largest recorded grizzly bear ever killed in Utah. I'm saying ever recorded. I'm sure there's probably been bigger, but
Nah, it was huge.
He's a big bear.
yeah, he was taking out farmers' cattle and stuff. And yeah, I went to his gravesite back in there.
Yeah, he was legendary.
Yeah, Jenny thinks she may have saw a grizzly bear about 3 weeks ago. Large brown bear. But she knows by the shape of the head whether it's a black bear or a grizzly bear, and she didn't get a look at its face as it went into the trees away from us. She got a better look at it than me. I went after it and I never did get to see it. Jenny wouldn't come after it with me. She went back to camp and got her gun.
Grizzly's got that great big hump on their back.
Uh-huh. Dry Bread Pond and Dry Bread Hollow. What's the temperature out there? Did your car tell you?
63.
Oh, up there, okay. I hope we get lucky and that snow's melted back. The first time of the year getting the cameras most exciting for me because those cameras have been out there like 8 or 9 months now. The road we're on now is seasonal. They close it down once there's too much snow on it, in like November or whatever, December, and then it's closed. You can't get on the top of this mountain until Memorial.
It's been open for about a month.
Yeah, they opened it Memorial weekend, and so that gives that animals a lot of solitude up here from people. You do get the snowmobilers that come in here though. From the gate to my first camera is 35 miles, and what was it, last January a snowmobiler drove past one of my cameras. So
that'll tell you right now there's snow.
Oh man,
it's not a good sign.
No, that's not a good sign.
That's south facing right there. Mind you, that's a big pile of snow that just hasn't melted off yet, but
yeah, that patch is deep.
That'll tell you right there that we're not going to get in very far.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting to those cameras. Dang it. It's usually till July. Shouldn't be disappointing.
Even when we bought Mark up here, there was no snow right there.
Yeah, I know. Crap.
Ooh. And half of it's on the north face. So
can always hope that someone's building a cabin this year and they come in with the tractor and cleared it out. I think that's the only way it's going to happen. No, it ain't going to happen.
It's been a long time actually since most of the property that is owned up here, these people have owned it for a long time.
Scott Green's got a cabin up here somewhere.
He does. That means he's only been building himself.
I think his cabin's pretty close to the gate because he comes up here before Memorial.
Is it up here by Curtis Creek?
No, I don't think it's up that high. I think his is down towards Ant Flat somewhere. I've never been to it, but him being able to get in before Memorial, it's pretty close to the gate.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he took his snowmobile in this winter and was happy he did. A bunch of his windows in the cabin got broke out, and it wasn't vandalism or a bear or anything. The snow was so deep and it melted away from the edges of the cabin that when new snow slid off the roof and hit the snow embankments, it come back in and smashed out his windows.
Serious?
Yeah, so he's gonna have to shutter up or board up his windows in the wintertime to prevent that. We did have a very bad winter, very deep snow this year though.
Yeah.
It's not a normal winter. We only get one of these kind of winters about every 20 years.
Ton of snow.
wonder if yours does elevation the same way mine did. No, that didn't do it.
Mine's not as fancy as yours. Mine's built into the stereo.
I'm sure yours is fancier. My GPS is old.
I don't know about elevation. I would imagine it tells you somewhere.
Yeah, I usually just have to push on my car on the GPS and it brings me to a screen that shows me the elevation.
Like review.
How about advanced?
Sure. Oh, this is actually setting it up if you want to set it.
Go to.
Where do you got us going to?
I don't know. I just put go to and.
You have to hit menu and then you can click stop. Yes, yeah. There might be a tool settings or something. My data, traffic info, no.
GPS info, that should tell you your. Yep, there's your elevation.
We're 900 feet.
Get close to 9,000.
We're coming back down though from the top.
Wow, this is cool. It shows you all the satellites it's linking up to.
Yep.
Wow. Yours is fancier than mine. Mine don't show all the satellites.
So that was under navigation?
Uh-huh. I think it was tools, navigation, GPS info. And that gives you your elevation. And I don't know, there may be another button that gives you your elevation too. But that's one way to find it.
Kind of let down, there's so much snow up here.
It's been so warm the last 3 or 4 weeks, I was hoping.
There's just going to be certain ones that are, certain banks that are just flat going to be in our way. We're going to try though.
Guess we can go till we have to turn around. Now it's official. Welcome to a Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization Dirt Road Roundtable Drive.
Already seeing snow.
And it probably isn't going to last very long.
Nope. It's going to be short-lived. We will do what we got to do though.
We'll have to come up in 3 weeks to a month. Yeah, if we're getting
already snow.
nice to show the viewers why we can't get into certain places at some points. I'm sure we're gonna have to turn around here pretty soon, but yeah, when we get on the north side in the shadows of the trees, that snow lasts the longest.
That and once we cross this little gate here, on both the right and the left is all private property. So you can't even go around a lot of snowbanks without you literally taking a chance of getting in trouble. You really just should.
Yeah. Yeah, the next 3 miles is all private property on either side of the road. Lucky buggers.
Yeah, they got some beautiful property for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mike. It's not national forest. Private property.
Yeah, because our government sold it to them.
They probably homesteaded it a long time ago.
It's all right.
Didn't get sold anything.
Problem is, the government will take it back on a whim too.
Sure enough. A lot of church property up here too.
Can I roll the window down here?
Sure. That probably be good to roll the window down for all of us. You good with that?
Here's some vocalizations.
I don't know if I guess I want the back open. I don't like dust coming back in on us.
This is about as minimal as you're gonna get on the dust up here too. It hasn't really gotten dry yet. Wow, smells good out there.
Sure does.
Funny, I see deer all over Monte Cristo all the time, and then as soon as this hunt starts, I only see them on the private property. Like the deer hug this property once it starts up. They must not get a lot of hunting pressure right here. $59 degrees. Feels nice up here. Oh, you opened up the very back window.
Yeah.
Not very many trucks do that.
Mine does. That is cool. I think it's one of the best features of the truck. Didn't even notice that snow at all. It's just wet, it's just like slush.
Have we got to the part where we had to turn around with Mark?
No.
That's coming right up.
You're about to see some reasons to turn around.
We don't have a shovel, that's a good reason too.
And this, you actually have to go out and around into that.
Yeah, go right through that snow. Stay on the left so you don't suck down into that gutter. You can plow through.
I would just go around it.
You know what I mean?
If we can get around this part, there's a good chance we can get all the way back in there.
No, we're not, because this is not where we actually had to turn around the last time. We had to turn around when we got up here.
This is what we couldn't get through with Mark.
No, we got around this. We did the exact same thing we're just doing right now. It's up in around here. It's that straightaway just before you go to turn where you got the open. open view over top of looking into Wyoming.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that's down on Randolph and all that. Yes.
Go to your game camp?
Oh, it's a lot further than this.
Yeah, it's a lot further than this. But
Oh, I'm on that one right there.
Yeah, we're on the same road.
yeah, we're on the same road, yeah.
Just looks different with all the snow.
It was definitely up here that we ran into it. And there's a lot more snow right there than there was when we brought.
Oh, I swear we turned around back there, but yeah.
No, it was along this. We got up past this, and you had to go down and around in a little wash.
I got my fingers crossed.
It's on the far side of this road right here is when we got screwed. Had to turn around because I wasn't willing to go down off the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, this is actually looking pretty good. I've got all the way in with the snow like this before right here.
See,
The end of the road.
end of the road. I mean,
Yeah, there's another snow embankment just like this
People
one.
been going around it, but I don't necessarily care to go around it. But there's another one you have to go around. We actually made it farther than this the last time.
Did you guys bring your binoculars? How's that up there in the snow road? Crow or something? Straight up ahead there.
Probably just a crow or something. Oh no, I brought a handheld camera that zoomed.
Maybe a grouse.
We had to do this the last time.
So are you turning around? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
So then
Most
four-wheel drive
people-
shit, you can get further than that. But it probably won't be much further.
I don't think it's going to get much further. See, people haven't even been going.
I think this is the end of the road, to tell you the truth. We don't have a shovel. It would be... It would not be a good day if we got stuck without a shovel. That's it. I don't think I'm coming up here for another month.
At least
2 weeks. I don't know. We keep having these warm days. It might only take a couple of weeks.
Let's take a step out for a second, can we?
it's fine, Mike. I don't mind.
Unless you guys are in a hurry.
Not in a hurry.
Looks like it might be 3 or 4 more weeks before we can get to those cams.
Ugh.
Might be going to Jarbidge the second week of July to try and get into that camera.
Some dude that I work with, his family owns property in that Jarbidge camp. They were talking about it the other day. What was talking about?
Yeah.
Like
Jarbidge is
nothing-
pretty freaking
nothing
cold,
up
man.
there, but that canyon, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That place was named Tusaha Bits by the Shoshone Indians before it got settled and renamed Jarbidge. And Tusaha Bits means cannibal giants in Shoshone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have all kinds of legends of Bigfoot up
They're
in Jarbidge.
out there, what, that came?
It's pretty dang remote.
By his, he was showing satellite stuff.
Dude, it's pretty damn remote. You're talking
Yeah. He said it's a
70,
long
75
way.
miles of dirt road just to get to Jarbidge.
It's arguably one of the most remote towns in the lower 48.
Yeah. And his family owns property over there.
It's a cool place.
It was cool.
Yeah, how much you can see from the thing. You get out of that canyon, nothing about safety.
Well, we found some suspect Bigfoot tracks, so we left game camera back in there and we're gonna go service it and see if we have any luck. And it might be a permanent place I keep game cameras. I'm thinking about dropping another one off up there and keeping 2 over the next winter. Keeping 2 out there. Yep, cannibal giants. Yeah, there's some of the businesses and stuff in that little town of Jarbidge. They have kept the Tusaha Bits name.
Yeah, there's a bed and breakfast named it right there in town. Not much to the town.
Right there.
Some good food though.
There's also a nice little bar, and the people are friendly, and
Yep.
they have live bands on the weekends.
Cruise clear out there?
What's up?
They cruise clear out there, huh?
Well, there's about 100 residents that live there in that teeny little town, and
I guess that's what you go do. Or you look at
what's
Everybody shows up.
the tourism's kept the town alive. It's such a great place for fishermen and hunters. It's sportsmen's that keeps that town alive, the tourist part of the town. And now we're turning it into a Bigfoot tourist location. There's been so many people since we've done our Jarbidge videos come back and say, we went there because of your video.
No kidding.
Uh-huh.
Sweet. We're like, man, out of gas.
There is a gas station back in there.
Uh-huh.
I still heard you better take a gallon or 5 gas.
If you could take extra gas, you might as well.
Yeah.
But there is, in fact, an actual gas station there. Mind you, it looks straight out of Andy Griffith.
Yeah, the whole town looks like it's out of Andy Griffith. Mayberry. Well, the road ain't even paved. It's all
Yeah,
dirt.
it's all dirt road.
It's a dirt road town. Fishing's supposed to be good in there.
What people do for a living? Sheep?
Well, a lot of them, they accommodate sportsmen that come back in there. Snowmobilers, 4-wheelers, fishermen, hunters. There's bed and breakfast, there's a little hotel, there's a bar and a restaurant.
Drive up.
Yeah, there's less than 100 year-round residents, and then most of the people that own property or homes back in there, they're just summer homes.
That's in Idaho?
It's just barely
It's in
across the
Nevada.
border of Idaho and Nevada, in the Sawtooth Mountains, I believe. Are those considered the Sawtooth, Jarbidge? I can't remember. It's the south of the Sawtooth, I believe. I've heard it called the gateway to the Sawtooths.
Because I didn't ask for one
It
yet.
started the town as a gold rush. There's lots of gold back in there. And silver.
Yep.
the first miners in there were having a really hard time with this weird colored clay, a bluish clay. They were having a hard time separating the gold with it, and figuring out ways and doing research, they discovered that the reason why the clay was that color is because it was full of silver, and they had been for many years throwing the silver out, so
we ran into an old miners camp way up on top. We had got stopped by snow. We went back as far as we could, and we ended up running. He had his old mining pans that were all rusted out.
Yeah,
old shoes.
We videoed it and took pictures. His old shoes, his old lanterns, and his
shoes were old enough that they used to use little teeny tiny little tacks,
cobbler nails,
whatever.
And
in fact, I found an old little mini bottle of something unopened that was up there that I still actually have.
Yeah, we were finding a ton of mushrooms around that mining camp too.
Yep, definitely lots of mushrooms. We thought about you, Mike.
Nice.
Even said it in the video. What else? Found quite a few footprints actually. Found a trackway of about 17-inch prints coming straight off the top of the mountain,
with 14-inch ones next to it. So 2 trackways.
Yeah, and just the fact that it was coming straight off the top of the mountain makes you believe that it obviously wasn't people that did it.
Yeah, Jenny and I are gonna go camp there for a 3-day weekend, week after July 4th, the weekend after July 4th.
I loved our camping spot.
Yeah, we had the best camping spot for the time of year.
Still wonder what the crap screwing around with us in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah.
There was something screwing around in our camp right in the middle of the night.
I heard it many times, and it went over and messed with our kitchen and everything. And it jumped on the grate that goes over the fireplace.
Yeah.
Like it used it like a springboard, like someone doing a double backflip off the low dive. It sounded like it sprung right off of it, something heavy.
Had stuff throwing rocks from the opposite shore banks of the river, throwing rocks into the river at us.
There's lots of rock stacks along that river.
Yeah, those were
probably people that did
probably people that did that, but either way, it was pretty dang cool.
Well, when we go, I want to go and actually camp in a tent there, but Jenny's trying to talk me into renting a room down in the town of Jarbidge.
In the town?
We've already stayed at the bed and breakfast last time we were there. Now we want to try the hotel next to the bar. What's cool is even the bed and breakfast, that bar's walking distance from.
Yeah, you're right there.
Uh-huh. The garden looks nice.
It does.
Well, I'm thinking about doing Jarbidge that weekend, or waiting until Labor Day. We just had Memorial, and then Labor's the next one, right?
Yep, September.
Yeah, but I'd really like to get up there the weekend after the 4th. Yeah, Jarbidge is pretty close to here in the terms of driving. It's only like a 5-hour drive from here to the town of Jarbidge. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's definitely something you can do on a weekend. Yeah, I don't know. Is that you guys get that Friday off?
Labor Day?
No, the weekend after the 4th. I think the 4th is on a Tuesday, and it's that Friday that Jenny and I have off that we're gonna.
I'll have to look.
We're considering doing Jarbidge.
I'll have to look to see whether that's my Friday off or not. And that all depends on whether or not my requested flex schedule instead of the 549s. So if that changes, then I guarantee I won't have it off unless I take it off. Oh, red-tailed hawk? What kind of
Probably.
look like?
Ant Flats is below us, and that has many Bigfoot road crossing sightings. There is 2 sightings where people have saw the creature cross the road in their vehicles, and then there's another sighting where a guy and his kid on a 4-wheeler had a Bigfoot run up next to him on Ant Flats and pace him for a little while before it jumped the fence and ran into the woods. So that's the reason why we keep a close eye on this place. There's just Bigfoot sightings all over it. And on top where we just were, where we had to turn around, there's a lot of springs up there, and I know 6 people personally that have saw Bigfoot in and around those springs.
You know, we might be able to get back to 6 bits from Ant Flats instead, coming up from the bottom that way.
Yeah,
instead of
those roads are pretty rowdy. I mean, ruddy and everything, so I don't know. But yeah, you're right, there is a way in from that direction. You're right.
I was just thinking it's a heck of a lot lower in elevation, and the snow's probably gone. But something more I want the Suburban for and not this.
Yeah.
Guess I beat it up.
I think it would be a muddy mess down there with the runoff.
Yeah, you're probably right, because it was pretty muddy there.
Well, you can tell a lot of those ruts are caused from runoff, so right now they might be streams and rivers. That's how Bloomington Canyon was. A lot of the dirt road back there turned into a river.
Well, this just caused me a couple hours of cleaning the truck. It's all good. I needed to wash it anyway.
I'm either driving on a dirt road or a muddy road almost weekly, so I have to wash my car almost every week.
I have to. This thing's black, so keeping this thing looking clean, you don't have a choice but to wash it all the time.
Wow. I never get bored of this view from up here,
No, it is beautiful, that is for sure.
especially in the direction of Bear Lake.
Now, you're usually driving.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story when you're not driving, because you can actually open up and just look. Enjoy everything.
I see Blacksmith Fort Canyon from here.
How's that black? My nephew just got married at Blacksmith Fort Canyon. Little white cabin that's right there. Heck, they might have some stories. Her parents live right there at the mouth of Blacksmith Fort Canyon. She grew up there. It's pretty that way too.
I've only been able to service 4 out of 15 game cameras so far this year. I can't get to my game cameras at the 77 structure yet. I've tried twice.
Because you can't get back in there.
The road's washed out.
It's all washed out.
Yeah, the river raging past Wally's house. They actually officially closed the road to his house.
So he's been stuck back in there?
You can still get in and out to his house. We drove back there to check on him, even though the road was closed. It's like, we need to check on Wally, you know. So we drove back to his house and everything. I think he also has a house in Salt Lake. I think they're staying there right now till the runoff's over and they can fix that road. Yeah.
I didn't know he had a house in Salt Lake too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he stays in his Sasquatch Canyon house most of the year. He doesn't like staying at his Salt Lake house.
I wouldn't either if I had a house where his cabin is, where his house is.
I think in the dead of winter, I'd rather be in Salt Lake than back there, though. But he enjoys living that way. He's off the grid. Cooks by propane, heats by fire. Most of his lights are propane, and then he also has a generator and 2 backup generators and a well. Yep, he's living a mountain man life. Yeah, I talked to him a couple of months ago. A bear come in, broke into his chicken coop, and he had all of his rabbits stacked in rabbit cages back in his chicken coop. The bears tore into his rabbit cages, ate his rabbits, and then drug some of the cages out to the road. So that bear did a number on his rabbits and chickens.
It's jacked up.
Yeah, he called the state wildlife, and they sent in the state trapper, and he set up a bunch of traps and never did catch anything. So that bear ate and got out of Dodge, or isn't interested in anything they bait those traps with. I may have caught the culprit on one of my game cameras. I captured 2 bears this winter out by his property.
That one was pretty big too.
Yeah, the big dark black one, and then there was a smaller lighter color one that actually stood up and scratched its back on a tree in front of our camera.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Rubbing his hide off.
His winter coat.
Winter coat.
Now, if Bigfoot would walk up and scratch his back on a tree for us.
That would be cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that tell me, yeah, you guys shouldn't even use those. Bigfoot sees it, this and that. I'm going to continue to use it till someone gets a Bigfoot eyeball and can prove to me that Bigfoot can see IR. And even if Bigfoot can see IR, everything makes a mistake. So I'd rather have game cameras out there, because I think I have a better chance at finding Bigfoot than sitting at home watching reruns of Finding Bigfoot. So I'll continue to use the cameras. It's just one tool in our arsenal of things to try and find Bigfoot. We've tried everything.
Capture a huge amount of wildlife. So
Yeah.
It don't matter one way or another. Just for that fact alone, it's well worth having them out there.
It also motivates us to keep going back to these sighting hotspots. Without putting the cameras there, I doubt I would be coming back as often.
My favorite is still that audio, dude, that you suspect think is an elk that sounds absolutely like an ape to me.
Yeah, I just hear a few frames or a few video frames, whatever, before all that grunting goes down. I think I can hear antlers rattling.
And I don't get that. I don't hear that. either way, it was awesome. Awesome audio. In fact, I need to stag that audio and put it in our audio section on the website.
Yeah, we got about a dozen. Yeah, on www.rmso.net. You go there, and on the tabs at the close to the top, just go to the audio section. We got about a dozen audios that we've captured over the years of Bigfooting. That some of those audios may or may not be Bigfoot. They're just interesting enough to put up there.
I'd like that guy's property. It's a nice cabin.
Yeah, you can get in here year-round, I think, can he?
No, we're
Nope.
not to the gate.
Not there yet.
Not far, so we at least got snowmobiles.
Yeah,
but
it's
not far to get up here.
Yeah, he doesn't have that long of a drive with the snowmobile.
A little bit more privacy up there, though. But that's pretty private where they are. Kind of makes you wonder if it's a back way to the back side of that guy's cabin. How you get to it right there.
A road that he can use for whatever, I don't know.
Wish we could have got back down in there.
Yeah, I shouldn't be disappointed because I knew that.
Yeah,
I've never been up in there this early. I think the earliest I've ever been up in there is the 3rd week of June. And
Well, we're there.
usually it's always after July. Yeah, it is the 3rd week, isn't it?
Third week of June.
Another hawk.
Yeah.
Right here's where they shut the mountain off all winter long. And half the spring, over half the spring. Up around the corner here one night that we were coming up here to spotlight for Bigfoot, big old beaver is dragging a big old log across the road, and it had one of the 2 lanes blocked off. And Jenny and I got out the camera and tried filming that slow moving beaver, and the beaver got away from us in the pond. It's another one of those deals where we're laughing at each other. It's like, how the hell are we going to get Bigfoot if we can't get
even get a beaver.
a slow moving beaver? But I think we're quicker on the draw. That was probably 6-7 years ago. I think we're a little bit quicker on the draw with the cameras now, but it's rough. That's why we like to have a dash cam going all the time, so we miss nothing. So we'll try to have a dash camera going if possible on our drive in and out of Bigfoot sighting areas, in case we catch something
Speaking of
unusual.
beaver.
If there's this pond. This is actually called Beaver Creek. This is literally in our backyards. This is pretty much our home turf of Bigfooting right here. This is an area that we can get off work and come up and get into a Bigfoot sighting hotspot and be home by 10, 11 o'clock at night. I've done it several times when I'm going stir crazy in the summertime and take off a Wednesday after work to come up and do a game cam exchange.
It's also a place we've been coming since we were kids.
My dad used to cut firewood up there. He'd get a permit, and a lot of times we'd go up there and camp a couple of weekends in a row, and we'd do a little bit of hiking, this and that, but for the most part we were lumping firewood. Dad would cut it and we would stack it and chop it.
Beaver Dam right there. They're pretty active all over around here.
Wow. Those beaver ponds, I know, bring in the moose, and there's been a lot of Bigfoot sightings around them, so it creates habitat for all the animals.
Oh yeah. Beavers definitely have a huge impact on the ecosystem, for sure.
Well, I really can't apologize about not being able to get into the game cameras. We're the ones that spent the time, drove the miles for nothing, but I'll throw some of the wildlife that we've captured in the area on the camera. If all these dozens of people are indeed seeing Bigfoot, to look at the other wildlife gives you a window into the habitat of possibly Bigfoot's world. I hope you enjoyed this roundtable with Mike, Derek, and I'm Kelly. Keep on watching.
We're gonna keep on squatching.